Okay, hello friends. So everyone know this face now. She's very famous. Deepa Shri is again with us. So thank you, Deepa, again for your time. And friends, you might have seen the thumbnail. Today's topic is about if you are about to do a transition and if you're confused like which path to choose, whether I'm going for PO or product owner or I have to choose a Scrum Master. And if you're a little confused, so today DJ is with us to remove all those confusion. So welcome again, Deepa, one more time.
Thank you, Sunan, to have me again. It's great to be back.
Okay, so yeah, sorry, Deepa, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm all set. Let me know when to start.
Yeah, you can start, Deepa.
Okay. So firstly, thanks for an overwhelming response. I think many of you reached out to me. So it's great that it gave some insight to many people, and that would help you to take your, tread upon your career better. So now it's a follow-up session based on the queries I have received, and that's how I and Sunan, we decided that okay, let's talk about when you are transitioning, right? You are not performing any agile role and you plan to move to an agile role. You plan to move and you are not at a team level. That means you are somewhere already in the management layer. You are already performing some kind of, leadership role already, and you feel which role to pick up, how to transition. So I would put it this way. It is that what is your innate calling, right? For my Hindi speaking people, I said, what is your mool swabhav, right? What is your calling? Is it about helping people, coordinating with them? Do you love talking with them, solving problems for them, or helping them solve problem? Because the role of a Scrum Master is such that you need to have that call and that nature that you see your progress by seeing your team progressing, and that is a quality not everyone has, right? And let's be very honest about it, right? How many of us really feel that if my team is progressing, I'm progressing? If that is your basic innate nature, go for it. Scrum Master role is made for you, right? You will do wonders out there. But in the other hand, you have a lot of industry expertise, suppose, right? You are good at knowing the market trends. That is your forte. Suppose that is your forte, because I know people who have who have spent 10, 12 years in the same industry. They know the market trends, they know the market rhythms, they are well averse with how the market or the industry they belong to is trending on. And if that is you, if you know the technical things, if you know what you are more customer centric, right? You are more that, or you can help customer, even you can produce a product that even a customer doesn't know about, then my friend, you are meant for a PO role, right? So there is no doubt about it that that is your calling. So knowing what is your calling is very important before moving to any of the roles, because if you are not aligned with that calling, you will fail miserably, because agile makes everything transparent. Agile makes, even, why agile is loved or hated is because it actually exposes everything. It does not solve anything, it just exposes. So for people who love hiding things, they hate it, that okay, agile is not working because you are showing so many problems. And people who love it is because they get to know, okay, these are my problem areas and I need to solve it, right? So that's the first thing that you have to look forward to when deciding which role to pick, right? Whether you want to move to a SM role and PO role. Having said that, SM role also requires you to know a lot of see, there are two aspects. One is the people aspect, and I told you it will be your inner calling. That is something nobody can teach you, I mean, I cannot, or Sunant cannot, or for that matter, all the videos out there can actually prepare you with what kind of, answers you need to give, but that comes innate, right? That is your natural instinct. If that is there, you will do well, right? Second part that comes is preparing in terms of tooling, right? That is very important, because as a Scrum Master, you need to be aware how you are going to, reflect the work, day-to-day work, right? So I would say that if you are preparing to tread into a Scrum Master role specifically, I'll focus first on Scrum Master, then move to PO. I would say work on some kind of management tools, right? Project management tool like Jira. I know it's a lot, the true agilist would say it's anti-agile. You ask me, I will say yes, don't rely on any tools. But see, the fact remains that when you move to a project and where you go as a change agent, they must be using some kind of tool set, right? So my based on my experience, based on whatever I have known, I would tell you there are 3 tools which are very popular. So any big enterprise organization that you would be joining, or which you are already part of, must be using these 3 tools: Jira, Jira Align, or Azure DevOps, or Rally also, maybe. Yeah. So these are the tools maximum they will be using. Now, to use these tools effectively, I highly recommend, I mean, it's not a paid kind of thing, but I recommend go over YouTube or go over Udemy, right? So these are the 2 tools you will find always, right? Or which would be, these places you will find lot of knowledge around these tools. So don't go after, okay, tell me, teach me. They are all 6 hours, 7 hours video. You have to invest. So invest gradually, and do not spend lot of time preparing, right? Start hands-on immediately. I mean, you can already, there are free versions of these tools, download, do hands-on. That's the best way to learn. Second thing is the techniques. As a Scrum Master, you need to be aware of certain steps that you will be helping the team, you will be helping the PO. So for PO, prioritization is of most important. So learn some prioritizing techniques, right? There are various methods, and it, again, I said, because it will be your calling, you need to know all the methods so that you can make a mixture out of it and suggest your PO, customize that for your PO, right? So that becomes very important. And how can you suggest that? Only by learning them, right? There is scanner model, there is Moscow, there is safe recommends, WSJF. So every framework has their own bias towards a certain way of prioritization, right? So learn those and see what works best in your environment, right? So that is the first tool that you have to learn about estimation. I highly recommend Mike Con's videos, right? I learned from there. I don't want to hide it. I mean, there is no hiding. Most of us in the industry, we learned from there, because he explains it in the most simplest form that could be. I mean, no one can explain it better. Understand about estimation, why we are doing estimation. That is important, because you have to teach your team for that, right? You have to coach your team for that. So that becomes very important. So learn all of those. All right. The third thing, learn about the XP practices. No matter today you are using DevOps or not, sooner or later, this will be the norm. If you would have noticed around, the first step was moving all your applications to cloud. Each one of you in IT, I can bet, and I can take a bet right now, that you have been associated in some way or other for cloud migration, right? So if yes, then I would say the next step is, and probably 50% has already moved to DevOps way of working. So as a Scrum Master, it's important. See, I'm not telling you learn the product, learn about the product. No, you may not. Like I said last time also, just understand the architecture, that is good enough. But you need to learn about the DevOps life cycle, the CI/CD pipeline. Those are important concepts, right? And as a Scrum Master, you just can't talk about DevOps is a culture, DevOps is a mindset. No, you need to know what are the tools available, right? So that you can at least suggest the team, right? These are the tools which are available. You have to have complete grasp on it, right? Like I always say, my Scrum Masters are jack of all, right? Master of none. So they need to know about, the various automations. If you see, I have acted as automation lead also, where you got to know about what are the various RPA tools, what are the various cog tools. I don't know the tools in depth. I might not configure, but I will at least know which tool is capable of doing what, so that I can at least go back to my team and say, hey, can we try this? Let's do a POC on this. At least you are the only person. Your team is going to be extremely busy in delivering the product sprint per sprint, right? They will have no time to go back and do all these research. So you do the research, come back, introduce a story that can we do this kind of research also, and introduce those spikes and stories or exploratory stories, whatever you call them, add it to the backlog so that the team can do it. So you are the person who will be doing it, right? So that is very important. Fourth, I would say, read a lot of leadership books. Extremely important. Leading the change, then there is switch, then there is dysfunctions, 5 dysfunctional behaviors of the team, which is very popular, right? So there are certain books you have to invest in them. Nobody can actually put that in your mind unless you read it, right? Make notes. And I would say my reading books, the capacity has increased during this lockdown, because I spend a lot of time reading it, and that helps. I'm telling you, and I'm sure anyone who is listening to this, and those who are into the reading habit can resonate with it, right? Make a target of reading a book, because you gain those concepts. Those concepts are very essential when you are designing, when you are planning how you're going to get work done, right? So that is one thing. So this was more about Scrum Master perspective. From PO, and I feel there is it's a different kind of mindset, right? I can talk about it, but it's a mindset where you are inquisitive in nature, right? You are wired differently, that what will create a delight for my customer, what would create a wow for my customer. How you are so passionate about your product, you can't think anything else, right? You need not be people centric when you are a PO, right? You need not be. So you are a go-getter, right? So these are two very contradicting personalities, right? Scrum Master and PO. So when someone says that I can do both PO role and Scrum Master role, I wonder how, because they are two completely opposite kind of people, right? That can make an effective PO or Scrum Masters. So yes, for PO, you need to be very inquisitive for the particular industry that you belong to. I would say, if you have not yet started, start reading industry news, right? What is going on? I'm sure you can refer to Blue Mind, you can refer to, there are various other industry books, or at least sites which they produce those kind of trends, right? So if you are more inclined functionally or towards industrial applications, etc., I think PO role would be very helpful. For that also, again, you have to be very communication is the key, right? So you need to have good communication in both the roles, of course, but the focus here is different, because Scrum Master is more, so it's more leaned towards servant leadership, right? Where you do not actually do it with authority. PO also is not doing things with authority, because you're also going to talk to stakeholders and all, but managing so many stakeholders, that requires a lot of different kind of people skill, right? Because for every stakeholder, it is a priority work. So you need to know how to prioritize well, and what would maximize the value. We keep saying it, but it's very difficult in practical. So what are the components that you need to look into? when you are doing it. Do not rely blindly on on your Scrum Master, because maybe your Scrum Master can only provide you theoretical knowledge, right? So as a PO, focus there. I can't speak a lot about PO because that is not my forte. I'll put it very straightforward, right? But at least with the POs I have worked on and the bent of mind I see, it's a different genre, right? So they have a different mindset altogether, very passionate about the product. Scrum Masters, more passionate towards people, right? They're very people centric. Scrum Master POs are more customer centric. Yeah, so that's the basic difference. So with that, I hope that helps people who are planning to transition to choose the roles well. When you choose it, choose according to your nature, right? What is your innate nature? And then you can improve upon it rather than jumping to a role and then, trying to learn. So that is one thing I would say. Apart from this, as you transition, I know there are many people who are doing POs and Scrum Master roles. You might sometimes feel that what next? Will I end up just being a Scrum Master? What is the future of Agile? Am I going to be redundant? Because see, practically speaking, a Scrum Master, when done a very superb role, you become redundant. You are not needed in the team. Team is high performing, self-sufficient, self-organizing. They know all the tips and tricks. Then what? Right? I get all these questions, right? Like, what if my team becomes high performing and I'm redundant? And that's how you have to aim for, right? That's why I said a Scrum Master mindset should be, if my success lies in the team success. If my team does not need me, that means I have been extremely successful, right? So with that, I would put it this way. As a Scrum Master, for whatever duration you play the role of a Scrum Master, I know people will say, I'll become Agile coach. Coaching guys are a different skill sets again, right? Yes, I would say a Scrum Master is more inclined towards being an Agile coach if they want to do, and then you can move to Enterprise Agile coach or so. But what after that? What after enterprise? So if you ask me, I would say your bent of mind needs to be towards transformation, right? So as an Agile Scrum Master, so not all Scrum Masters that we have today will all transition to Agile coach, right? Because the pyramid is leaner, guys. You can't have so many Agile Scrum, 100 Scrum Masters and 100 enterprise Agile coach. So then you don't do anything, you don't grow up. No, you don't do that. What you do is try and focus towards your, again I always say, choose your career based on your calling, right? What is your calling? Do you like seeing transformation happening? Move towards you can grow as a enterprise transformation consultant, not sticking to Agile, right? I know the trends is start as Scrum Master, move to team coach, then enterprise, then right? I prefer to keep it bit enlarged, so that you're not fixed with Agile. Agile is good. Agile is the way forward. It's an enabler, just like DevOps, right? It will be there. It will be there because you will need speed. You will need that excellence, and you need to accelerate your delivery to keep up with the market needs. Right? If you don't do that, your business or your account or whatever, you will fall short. Right? So that is the need that will be there, but it is not that will be only there, right? There will be more things coming up with time. Try to look for those trends. That's very important. Transformation, like, they say, no, change is the only constant. Look at the market trends, right? When you started your career, probably, or at least when I started my career, lean was there, Six Sigma was there. There were a lot of focus on CMMI certified people. You remember those days? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sound very old here, but yeah, that is the trend. So if you look here now, the trend is Agile, DevOps. I know, but there will be something else coming after 5 years. But with the mindset, with the growth mindset that you have, you will always find. So always keep track of your calling, keep track what is happening in your organization, right? Or in your dream organization. So if you want to change your job today, so probably look into the aspiring companies that you're targeting for, right? What is their trends? What is their vision? And then align yourself accordingly, right? 2 3 years back or 5 years back, I think it was a lot on cloud is now the reality, right? Again, there will be a lot of focus on some other. So I'm not saying go ahead and learn a technology, because technology will keep changing, my friend, right? Every second day you will have something new coming up, new tools coming up. You will learn it eventually. You have to learn it. You can't forego that. But at the same time, look for the trend. After every 5 to 6 years, there will be some change in trend. So keep a watch. I haven't found that yet. The moment I find, I'll definitely share it with you so that you can also start preparing. But look to more towards transformation will always happen, right? Wherever there is delivery, wherever there is work happening, there will be different new ways of working. So probably not restricting yourself in the coach profile, you can look to be consultants in transformation, right? Any kind of transformation. It could be digital transformation using agile. It could be complete transformation of the complete landscape of your application. Like it could be some infrastructure kind of realignment you're doing, just like migration to cloud or something. It could be anything, but I think that is the key expertise that you should ingrain in yourself and keep reading about things, I think. And one tip I would also give: start following the leaders who have always been there when there was lean. They were also there when there was agile. They were also there when there was DevOps. Follow the market leaders already. Yeah, they're all there in LinkedIn, so it's no longer hidden thing, right? Start following them, start understanding. I won't start quoting the names, otherwise they will think that I'm stalking all of them. But yeah, I do that. I follow people. I follow leaders who inspire me, leaders who I see. So there are few people you should. So follow your peers who you feel who could be your competition. Follow people who are 1 or 2 steps above you, right? Already there performing the role that you aspire to be. And also follow extreme leaders, right? Who you might not reach to, but at least start following them, because if you don't follow them, how will you reach out till their level, right? So this is the way you have to keep growing. Spend some time in your learning every day. I do that no matter how busy I am, how many deliveries I have. I do that. I spend at least 3 hours at least on reading or doing. And if I can do that, being a working woman, being a working mother, being have to manage kitchen also, so that's an added thing. So if I can do that, I'm sure you all can. So it's not about I don't have time, it's about finding the time for your career, right? So I think that's the message I had for today. So over to you, Sunil.
Okay, I have only one question,
Sure.
and that question is, I think, most asked question. So let's say I am new and I have no idea about Agile. The very first thing which I have seen people do, they just go with the CSM certification or PSM certification, and then they come that, okay, now I don't have any experience and I'm rejecting in interviews or I'm not getting calls. So what is your advice on that? Like,
My
so as
advice
a,
is,
yeah.
my advice is, don't go for certification at first, right? That is the worst thing that you have done to yourself if you have done that. The reason, because when you go into a certification, 2 days of certification is not going to change your mindset, or you will not get half of the learnings that has been taught. Let me tell you, and I'm telling from my personal experience. Go and see my profile. I have done all the certifications starting from 2016, right? So I have spent a lot of time, and I realized that it is not the certification, right? That gives you the edge. What gives you the edge is Firstly, when you are saying that you want to move to a Scrum Master role, right? Very good. At least you have realized that this is where I want to move to. You need to first understand what framework will you be working for. So going for an interview without knowing what framework they are looking at is a waste, I would say, because you might not answer. Might not be able to answer. And second, if you know no framework, start with Scrum, right? Refer the Scrum guide. It's available. It's free, right? Download, read it. I can bet you cannot understand just by reading it. First time if you read, you will not understand anything. What do? There are books by Hiren Doshi. There are books by Gunthar. I started with that, right? So I started reading. One of my actually trainer, he advised me to go over those books. So I did that, right? So they are very good books, basic books, no rocket science. Read that, okay? Do not and these have to, all these activities I'm saying has to be time boxed, right? You don't have your entire career to do this. Focus. 1 week I will cover one book. They are all thin books. I mean, they are not very text heavy. You can finish it within 1 week. The moment you are done with that, ask one of your peer. Like I said, you should have a peer who is already performing that role, or somebody who you aspire to be, and ask him or her to take your mock interview. That's the best way. If they're already performing it or they're already taking it, ask that. If not, go over Sunan's website. He like YouTube channel,
I'm about
right?
to tell you, like, okay,
Right?
come to me. I'll happy to take your mock
Right?
interviews.
Right? So you go to that YouTube channel, it is full with those questions, right? Do not listen to the answers. The moment that question is asked, do not listen to the answer. You record your own answer. What would you give? Then listen to those answers. What was the difference? You'll get where you are doing
Absolutely,
wrong.
that's the important
Right?
thing, DJ, which you have just mentioned. And we have just started one more thing. So now what we are doing, like, we are just having one question and multiple Scrum Masters are giving the answer of same question. But I always tell them that you record your session first.
Yes, yes.
Record your video first, because video is more important. You can see your own face, the expression, the confidence, right, in your own
Absolutely.
eyes, right? And then you
Absolutely.
can compare and you can see. So that's very important point.
That's true. I mean, I did not think about the video part first, to be very honest. But yeah, I thought that it's important that you first get to know what is your answer, right? How would you answer that? Prepare that, write that. I'm sure if you are seeing that I'm getting rejected in interviews, these days it is all video ones. Yeah, I mean, not face to face. Write down those questions in a paper when they're asking, and you know I'm not going to get selected. You can get those vibes, right? I'm not going to get selected. So write those questions quickly, right? Make the notes. Okay, this is what. And also you have to come up and think about, because see, they are not going to hire you without any experience. Nobody's going to pay you so that you can join them and learn. Try to find this role within your organization first. That's the easiest step. And if you are after your manager for continuously, convincingly that yes, I am ready, I want to play this role, I can do this, he will somehow find. And if you're already in the leadership position, like, or you're a lead or a QA lead, already start implementing those ceremonies or events in your team. Who is going to stop you? Waterfall done the agile way does not harm anyone. Nobody is going to stop you that no, you can't do agile. Right? Agile becomes a mandate to be done when the customer has asked for it. But what if customer has not asked, but you just want to practice, right? So there is no stop. You are already a lead. If you're a lead and you want to practice it, practice, right? You can do retrospective. Okay, you don't want to do the complete, increment thing. Okay, that is a full-fledged agile implementation. And let me tell you, not even real agile implementations have an increment coming out every week. That's the truth. I mean, I know, I mean, people are going to bash me now. But you've got to start practicing. There will be you will have 10 things to say I cannot do it, but you have to find that one way that where you can do it yourself. right? If nothing works, start with your family. If you have kids, start with them, with their personal agility board, and come out with sprint backlog and sprint burn down. You have to just practice the concepts now. Start practicing. What is stopping you? Yeah. So
Absolutely.
so
Okay. So
yeah.
thanks, DJ. One more time, I think the advice which you have given to all of us is very practical, and I think few examples, the books name which you have suggested are pretty good. I have myself have gone through it, and same advice I am giving to all the people who coming to me, that do not rely on any videos, whether it's Sunan video or any XYZ channel videos. Always go and do not Google anything. That's
Yeah.
the worst thing which you can just go and Google that a question and something like that. Shut down your laptop or whatever, buy some physical book. That's most important. People
Very
are now losing that thing until unless, because there are a lot of things when you have a physical book in your hand, your mind is completely over there. Otherwise in
Probably
laptop some,
whenever this gets published, I'll share the list of books picture I
yeah,
have
yeah,
in my.
I'll put in the links. I will put in the links. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people can just go and I mean, if they want, they can purchase. Maybe I'll also put my Amazon affiliate link. Maybe I'll also get some pay, some money out of it.
Sure.
So that's okay. But important thing is buy some books. That's most important thing.
Very
Nowadays, people want everything very instant, quick. It's not going to work. Invest your time, as mentioned by DJ and my wife.
Yeah.
I have told a lot of time, and people don't want to invest their time in books. So yeah, you start
No,
with some good
without
book, one at a
investing
time.
time,
Yeah,
yeah,
pick one book.
just like weight loss, right? Until unless you work for it, you won't. That magic
Yeah,
pill does not exist actually. You have to
absolutely.
control your diet, you have to work out, then you can get leaner. Similarly, there is no shortcut. Unfortunately, there is no shortcut here. And until unless, and of course, like when you are, one other thing, just I got reminded, I'll just add, Sunal, is that when you are planning for an interview, also prepare that what kind of teams you are working at, right? That is very important, because if they ask you and you fumble and you're not aware what kind of product or team you're managing, they can make out that you're not doing it really, right? So
Sometimes
prepare well. Yeah.
I'll tell you honestly, I someone told me that, okay, I asked, okay, how many team members you have? And he was just thinking, okay, and he started counting, and then he just tell me around 14. And I say, okay, then how you are managing them, like 14 people? Oh, 14 is only at offshore. Then I have some people at onsite as well. And then I just started from there, and then I within a 2-3 minutes he just surrendered. Sorry, I mean, yeah. And then I know that, okay, it's not the case. So yeah, very small things you will just easily pinpoint within the next 5-10 minutes.
Yes.
If you're doing okay.
Because the people who are interviewing you are experts. They're doing it day in, day out. They know how it works, what doesn't work. So try to be real, right? Try to be real as much as possible. Do not fake things, because the moment you fake it, you lose the integrity, right? You lose the trust. And when trust is lost, nobody's going to hire you. So don't do that, but keep your skills very high, like your XP practices, BDD, TDD, what is the core concept, those things will give you an edge, definitely, right? Because not every Scrum Master is equipped with all this knowledge. So yeah, be well versed with the Scrum guide. And as a Scrum Master, at least when I hire, I look, at least you should know 2-3 frameworks, right? It's important, because in a large organization, you don't know where you will be fit, which framework you will be using, right? But yeah, Scrum and Kanban can be the least that you should be prepared with, at least with the core concept, when to use Scrum, when to use Kanban, when to use the combination of it, how that elevates or accelerates the delivery, etc. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, DJ. Any other points which are coming to your mind
No,
before we
I'm
close this?
done.
I got one comment that you stop DJ for speaking, so you should ask her. So I'm asking you now that you have anything, please let us know. We will not stop this video. So,
No.
you are very big for fan following now. Okay. So people are like shouting on me, why you have stopped, DJ? You want to continue on to?
No.
No,
Thank
nothing. So,
you.
okay. For this session, guys, we are done. And obviously we are going to have more session in future whenever she has time. Yeah.
Sure.
So thanks again, DJ, for your time. Thanks again.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye, everyone.